Well, hi, YouTubers. This is the 20th of February, 2009, and today is the day when Bill Maher, how do you pronounce M-E-H-E-R, starts his new HBO show for the new season. He is the most delightful comedian of libertarianism, atheism, and all those other good things that I like, and the funniest because he's so honest and so right. Anyway, it's Bill Maher's day today, and the president has now had 1 month to get it together, and of course everybody expected him to do it right the first time, get it right the first time, with all those people clamoring in his ear for years already. He's been working on this project of becoming president. I mean, give the poor guy a break. Yeah, of course, it's all wrong. Ron Paul says it's all wrong, and I agree with him. It's all wrong. But it's better than Bush, isn't it? I mean, oh, speaking of Bush, Bush is such a funny word. But I got to thinking about men's words, and if you were going to have a baby, there's a few words you don't want to name them, okay? 6 of them right here. Randy, Dick, Jack, John, Harry, and Lester. Well, right away you know why you don't want to name your baby Lester, the molester. Who wrote that song? Well, that's terrible. I feel sorry for any Lesters. So number 1, girls, don't name your baby Lester. Okay, the other words, Randy, Dick, Jack, John, and Harry. Well, Harry, I mean, who wants to be Harry? And if you're Harry, you don't want to be Harry. And if you're not Harry, you want to be Harry because that's masculine. But the only good Harry I can think about is the song from I don't know when, long time ago, 60 years or more. Oh, I'm just wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. The heavenly blisses of his kisses send me to ecstasy. The dog's looking at me like, shut up and feed me, right? Okay, so that's Harry. You don't want to name your kid Harry. And then how about John? Well, they call John, dead people John Doe, right? And John, they call prostitution's clients are Johns. Why would you want to name your child John? I mean, I got a grandfather John and a brother John, and I realize that I'm stepping on toes here with a couple of brothers John. But John, the way they use John, I would never name my kid John. And the last 3, Randy, Dick, and Jack, lay down and be quiet, would you please, dog? I've got the floor here. It's my turn. So just quit interrupting. She always interrupts, always steps on my sentences, you know, especially the last one that's supposed to be the punchline. She steps on. Okay, Randy, Dick, and Jack. Well, Randy, I swear to you, the first time I heard Randy in relationship to sex was on West Wing. I was absolutely amazed. I had never heard the word, and why I hadn't heard it? Well, maybe I hadn't, I just forgot it. You know how you are when you're 73? You supposedly don't remember everything. Well, I know there's toxic waste on my brain. I have them on my eyeballs. I got lumps all over my ribs inside now. I mean, this is what happens when you're 73. But I do not remember ever hearing the word Randy before the White House. Oh, wasn't that a good show? I love that show. Those writers were so good, and those actors were so into their parts that you'd forget that it was fiction. It sounded so much like it ought to be. And the last 2, Dick and Jack. Well, now you know, of course, why you wouldn't want to name your kid Dick or Jack, right? It's obvious, because what's a dick? And what do you do when you jack off? They're referring to cocks, of course, girls, if you don't know that already. Dick is a cock. Well, he's also a detective, right? But who would want to be called a dick if you're a detective? Especially if you're a woman, you wouldn't want to be called a dick. That's got to be really disgusting, huh? And then Jack, the jack-off of all trade is the jack off. Oh, you want to be jacked off? You want to jack off? I mean, is there any other words? Oh, blowjob. Oh, that was the other. Yeah, that's the other phrase, blowjob. Nobody names their kid blowjob, so I guess you don't have to worry about that. But Randy, Dick, Jack, John, Harry, and Lester were the first words that came to mind when I thought about what not to name your children. So I guess maybe the thought came about when that woman had 8 planned babies on top of the 6 she already had. I mean, I have heard of a lot of women who had to get pregnant every year and have a baby in order to increase their income from welfare. And I was appalled that people would have babies in order to collect money from the taxpayers. Me, I'm paying for their babies. And I ask you, why? Me, the government, the taxpayer, me. Why should I pay for them to have? The world is too populated already. I should pay them for not having babies, right? Now there's an idea. Now there's something the welfare should think about. How about paying them for not having babies? And let's see if we can do something about the population explosion. So, okay, there's my words on what not to call your baby. And what did I start with? Oh, I forget what I started with. But on to the next one, right? Okay, so that's it for this time. I'm the 3H'er. Be happy, healthy, and high.